10 miles with a plate carrier. I did not mean to go that far. I'm actually filming this after I already filmed the content for the video of today's topic. But hopefully that sets the tone and motivates you guys to pay attention and take what I have to say to heart. So with that being said, let's get on with the video. Man, it is kind of busy here today. I don't think I've ever seen it this busy here. Throwing some weight on the shoulders today. What do y'all know about this with the white stitching? Huh? Anybody know what that means? You know it's gonna be a good day when you're getting the plate carrier out. Oh. Kind of slapped my back a little bit on that one. All right, nice and warmed up now. Got away from the crowd of people. And for today's run, I'm really placing emphasis on speed improvement, endurance improvement, and overall leg strength. And that's why I have my plate carrier on today, 20 pounds. And is it just not a gorgeous day out here today? Look at this. Got somebody up there running in front of me. She's probably like, what the hell, who are you talking to? But yeah, so I brought the camera along today for this because I figured it'd be a good opportunity to shoot some footage and tell you guys a little bit about why I do this and how I think it'll benefit you if you're trying to get faster as a runner. So running with a plate carrier or weighted vest such as this one is something that I've integrated into my training regimen for a long time now, like years now. I have found that over the years, through careful implementation of training like this, that it has decreased my run times, giving me a lot more endurance and helped me to maintain and gain leg strength. And I mean it when I say that, like no ifs, ands, or buts. That's exactly what it's done for me. You guys know that I'm a huge advocate of rucking and run rucking and basically just running with weight on your back. Well, this concept, running with a plate carrier or a weighted vest, is very similar to that. The biggest difference being that the weight's going to be a little less. You're going to want to try to move a little more deliberately, a little faster, and the weight is a little more spread out evenly across your upper body. Whereas when you're ruck running, all that weight is sitting on your back, so your balance is going to be a little different, right? Center of gravity is going to be a little different. But running with a vest spreads out that weight and allows you to move almost in the same way that you would if you were running without any weight on you. Now, the concept and the science of why running with extra weight on your body is so beneficial to your training is really not that complex, guys. You know, I'm not going to just try to sit here and fluff up this video with a whole bunch of, you know, science lingo or verbiage that makes it sound like I'm smarter than I really am. It's really not that hard to understand. The main reason why running with a plate carrier is going to help you with your run time and your overall endurance is because you're adding additional weight to your body weight that's forcing your body to move itself under that additional stress. And of course, we all know that the only way we're going to see growth is if we're putting ourselves through stress. It's basically the same concept with lifting heavy weights, right? You lift heavier weight, you're going to get bigger muscles. Plain and simple, as long as your nutrition is right and all that stuff, but that's the basic concept, right? Well, it's the same thing with running with extra weight. If you are adding that additional stress to your body and forcing it to learn how to move itself forward with that additional stress, it's going to figure it out. It's going to adapt, it's going to overcome, it's going to grow and utilize those muscles in a way that's going to increase the overall output and give you that performance that you're looking for. It really is that simple, guys. You're training your body for what you're telling it needs to do. And in my case, or in your case, if you're watching this and you're trying to become a better runner, I am wearing the extra weight to help me get faster, to help me be able to run further without seeing fatigue, and to maintain and build that leg strength that I've worked so hard for. And I'm trying my best not to run it off with all the running that I'm doing. That's the hardship of being a hybrid athlete. But this is definitely one of those secrets for runners that's gonna help you maintain that muscle mass, especially with the wheels. Now I know 100% certain if there's gonna be comments on this video that say things like, well, there goes your knees, or yeah, but you're gonna regret it when you're 50, so on and so forth. Honestly, guys, I've learned a long time ago, and hopefully you guys are picking up on this. You're really just not gonna get away from naysayers like that. I've just learned to accept it, move on, and try to still give you guys that actually care about useful information like this some good useful information, and just block out the bullshit. But with that, I do want to say, if you do decide to go out and give plate carrier weighted vest running a shot, which I definitely think you should, there are some things that you need to be careful with to avoid injury. Running with a plate carrier is absolutely going to get you stronger, which is going to help you inherently avoid injury in the first place. However, if you don't implement this sort of training appropriately, you're definitely going to be running the risk of causing yourself more harm than good. So here's a few tips to get you going and training effectively and smartly. First of all, if you're just starting out training with a weighted vest, don't go too heavy on yourself, all right? Don't get too motivated and go too crazy. You want to start off light. Now, for most of you out there, that's going to be somewhere around 10 to 20 pounds. And honestly, guys, I think the ideal beginner weight, like if it's really just like your first time running with a plate carrier or a weighted vest, I think 10 pounds is the way to go. That way you're definitely not going too hard and too fast. And even with that additional 10 pounds, you're going to see it's definitely a much greater challenge than running without additional weight. Once you feel comfortable with that starter weight, you can move up from there. But again, you want to do it in increments of very lightweight, maybe 5, no more than 10 pounds at a time. Now, another thing to consider as you're packing on that additional weight is going to be the impact on your body. This is where a lot of those naysayers come in and say, yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's why your knees are going to get jacked up. Now, don't prove them right. Make sure that you're mitigating the impact, the additional impact that you're putting on your body. You'll mitigate that by wearing proper shoes, something like this, with plenty of support and padding. Look at that. Look at all that pad I'm wearing. And when you're just starting out, especially, you want to be running off-road on soft surfaces. You want to be running on trails, something like this, or something like this. You're going to want to stay away from running on hard surfaces, especially when you're just starting out. Now, this is also not the time to be practicing your sprints. You want to start off nice and slow. I mean, even me right now, I'm running while I'm talking to you guys. This is about the pace that I would be trying to maintain if I was out here even all by myself. Nice and easy, conversational pace, meaning I can talk while I run. And that way, I can really focus on my form, really focus on how I'm pounding my feet against the ground, and really just doing everything I possibly can to make sure that my form is correct and I'm not banging around my feet too much or banging my knees too hard. And the idea is that you don't want to be doing it any harder than you would if you were running without the additional weight. It should be a nice even stride. And I'll tell you with that, you'll know you're doing it effectively if your knees don't hurt, and if it feels like you're getting more of a leg workout than you normally would when you're just out there on a normal run, because you're definitely putting those muscles of your legs through additional strain and additional stress than you would be without the additional weight. You also want to make sure that your vest is sized appropriately and that it's nice and comfortable. It's not flopping all over the place as you run. It should stay more or less tight to the body, but not so tight that it's cutting off circulation or it's making it any harder for you to breathe. If you look at me, you can see even though I'm running, the shoulders are staying in place, the front staying in place, back staying in place, everything's staying right where it should be. But it's also not so tight, like look, I can pull it away a little bit, where it's cutting off circulation or making it harder for me to breathe. This thing is fitted just right for me, and that's how it needs to be for you as well. And I'm using, oh man, oh, they closed the trail on me. That's a bummer. I was looking forward to getting some stairs in. That's okay. Anyway, this vest that I'm using is a 511 TacTec plate carrier, and it's a very well-known plate carrier for using it for like CrossFit sorts of workouts or running. Believe it or not, guys, this is not a new concept. I didn't just make this up. You know, they made this vest specifically for what I'm doing with it right now. I'll drop a link for this vest in the description for you guys. You can go check it out for yourselves. It's a pretty good vest. I would definitely recommend getting this one if you're looking for something to try out. I also just recently got sent a weighted vest from GoRuck. I have yet to try it out, But let me know if you guys want me to make a review video for the GoRuck weighted vest, because I'd be more than happy to do that. I need to test it out anyways. All right, guys, one more variable I want to touch up on real quick before I let you go, and that is, what about the distance? What sort of distance should you be going for? Now, obviously, that's going to really depend on the individual. You know, all of you that are watching this video, you all have a unique running capability already. Whether you are just starting out with running or you've been running for years, it doesn't really matter. Your capabilities are all going to be completely different. But I'll tell you what I do. And this has worked for me for years now. Hopefully this makes sense when I say it, because it makes sense in my head. Hopefully I can spit it out in a way that's comprehensive to you guys. And that is, whatever the average distance is for you, where you feel like you are challenged for sure, but you definitely still could have went further, take that distance and break it down to 50% of that distance. And that should be the distance that you run with your weighted vest. Roughly around that distance is really what I should say. For example, for me, I know that on any given day, I could just go run 10 miles. I'm not gonna say that's like super easy, but I know I can do it. A 10-mile run for me on any given day with my skill level is something that's definitely achievable, but it's still somewhat of a challenge to me. I'll feel like I accomplished something that day for sure. So for me, that translates to a 5-mile plate carrier run. That should allow me to effectively train without going too hard, too fast, but still feeling like I got something out of it, knowing I got something out of it, really. Now, if you're somebody where that concept applies to you and it translates more to like a 5-mile run, that means you should be running about 2.5 miles with your plate carrier. And really, guys, that's just like my easy, you know, way to not forget how to establish a good backstop for yourself to make sure that you're not overtraining. Obviously, you could run a little shorter or a little more than that sort of distance, but that's just my offering to you that has worked for me over the years to make sure that I don't go too hard. All right, guys, well, there's some tips for me to start off your plate carrier or weighted vest running journey. Again, I absolutely believe in it. I think it's gonna provide to you enormous results that you didn't think were possible in a very short period of time, as long as you implement it correctly and safely, as long as you follow those tips and the advice that I gave you here in this video. If you're somebody that has experience with plate carrier running, please, by all means, share some of your experiences and your own advice on this video in the comments. This content's meant to be helpful for everybody that watches it, so the more information that we have, the better it's gonna be. If you guys have any additional questions, maybe there's something that I didn't touch on or forgot to talk about, please drop that in the comments as well. I do read these comments and I'll do my very best to get back to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We talk about all sorts of things on this channel, definitely heavy in the military fitness. We have Follow Me workouts, military career enhancement, motivation in life, all sorts of things. I'm sure you'll find value to you in your life. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But for now, I think it's time to put you guys down and focus on my own workout for the day. So besides that, I've got nothing else for you, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, and some hidden content for you guys. What do you guys know about Duck Donuts? Oh man, check it out. I'll show you what it's about. Whoa. Oh man. If you needed any more motivation to go out there and get some miles in, hopefully that just did it for you. All right, guys, take it easy.